What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. There's a lot of twists and turns in this one, so y'all keep up with me. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. In life, we all face obstacles and hurdles we have to overcome. Whether dealing with depression, addiction, struggling just to find work, we all go through things and have seasons in life. But it's not about what we go through. It's about how you handle it and shape back. Because like the old folks used to say, struggle builds character. In the world we live in now, you can actually go through something, and once you make it through and make it to the other side, you can get in front of a camera and share your story on social media. If you don't mind being that transparent. And you will find out it's millions of others probably going through the same thing. And for some people, just simply sharing their story gets them notoriety and also a taste of fame. It takes a strong person to come from the bottom, get an opportunity to make some big money, be famous, and stay humble and grounded. While success looks good on some people, for others, they crave or want to be known so bad, they become obsessed with not just being successful, but famous. A lot of people look up to others, whether celebrities or influencers, and I think we forget they are regular people with regular problems and personalities. Behind the scenes, some people become so caught up in their public persona and the clout or fame that they will do anything so their 15 minutes of fame will go further. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it to Phoenix, Arizona to discuss the case of a celebrity chef who snapped after his wife stopped funding his lifestyle. All the way back in 2017, 45-year-old Anthony Milan Ross seemed to be on top of the world. An Arizona chef who got his claim to fame for being a vegan chef who had hundreds of recipes, just promoting a healthy lifestyle. Outside of work, Anthony was a family man. He had a wife at the time, 38-year-old Iris Ross, and 2 kids, 11-year-old Nigel and a 10-month-old baby girl named Honora. But life wasn't always smooth for Anthony. Let's take it back some years. He was a bigger guy who struggled with weight and eating habits, weighing over 500 pounds. He was depressed and in a low point in his life. His wife always supported him and tried her best to tell him he could lose the weight. But at the time, Anthony didn't know how. He would struggle just to play catch with his son and do regular family activities. His breaking point came when they went to a family trip to an amusement park. His son wanted to ride a ride and Anthony was too big to get on it. That crushed his spirit, that his weight affected his son having a good time. He immediately after that started a program that was geared toward healthier living and eating habits, all surrounded by a plant-based or vegan lifestyle, and also going to the gym. Anthony went all in, learning how to make vegan meals and hitting the gym on a regular basis. And his dedication paid off. Over a few years, his weight started falling, and he would be down almost 250 pounds. While learning how to cook vegan, he fell in love with it and became a vegan chef. He shared this story on social media and his local news station in his town, and it went viral. People couldn't believe the man had lost all that weight without diet pills or surgery, all from changing the way he was eating and going to the gym. Now called Chef Milan, his middle name, Anthony wrote 2 books that ended up being bestsellers. He was now in the spotlight, traveling all over the world, talking about his weight loss journey, going on talk shows, speaking and cooking, and now he was rubbing shoulders with celebrities. It seemed like he was a whole new man. He even took his son back to that same amusement park and got on a ride they couldn't get on. 4 years later, His new lifestyle was motivation to everyone, and the chef was a real-life walking success story. His wife Iris stayed in the background and raised the kids. Now a new mother again to her 10-month-old, she was described as very loving and supportive. But with all the success her husband was said to have, she definitely wasn't a slouch herself. Iris had a great career at St. Joseph's Hospital and Medical Center as the Director of Healthcare Administrator for the Outpatient Surgery Center, in which she made good money. It seemed the family had achieved the American dream. But behind all of Anthony's TV appearances, books, social media fame, surprisingly, she and him both realized clout doesn't equal money. You still have to make moves to keep the money and fame going. By 2017, Anthony was at a standstill. While having a great story and strong passion for vegan food, we all know how fast people move on to the next topic or viral sensation. He wasn't getting booked as much, and the speaking engagements slowed down. In fact, Iris was spending her own money to promote, also buy out venues for the chef to speak at, which became taxing on the family's finances. It seemed instead of just cooking, maybe opening up a small vegan restaurant, Chef Anthony had become obsessed with the limelight and the fame. As the family's finances took a hit while Anthony chased his dreams, Iris had reached a breaking point, telling him he needed to find another way to make a living to help support the family. But Anthony was gung-ho on pushing his brand. So Iris, tired of it, filed for a divorce. Anthony took it hard because she was the money pushing him behind the scenes. The couple had many talks, and Anthony begged her to try to make the marriage work, accusing her of not believing in his dreams. But she was done living a lie. They were co-parenting, and on Christmas Eve in 2017, Anthony pleaded with his estranged wife to come spend some time with him and bring the kids for the holidays. She agreed and brought the kids over. She talked to Anthony for a few hours, but as he started talking about the marriage and brand, she politely told him she was leaving. Go ahead, spend time with the kids, and she would be back to get them. As Anthony was doing his father duties, taking care of his baby girl, even going on Facebook, singing Christmas songs with his son.
You better not cry.
You better not pout.
I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
It seemed he was in a good headspace, but just hours later, things would take a dark turn. On Christmas Day, Iris headed over to pick the kids up. Anthony met her at the front door. Then, right outside, broad daylight on Christmas, as she proceeded to walk into the house, Anthony shot her. A neighbor who heard the commotion came outside and asked is she okay, but he upped the gun on them before going back into the house. They called local police, who responded to the scene to find out, unfortunately, Iris had passed away from her injuries. They were horrified to find out Anthony was still armed inside the house with the kids, and that the man was making threats. Police quickly realized they had a hostage situation on their hand. They made contact with Anthony. During the standoff, he told them he would end his kid's life. It's not clear if he made demands or not, but a few hours later, gunshots erupted from the home. And he texted family members, "I did it. I took the kids out. They are gone." As the information was delivered to police, they pleaded with Anthony to come out so nobody else would get hurt. But he told them he was going to take himself out now. A few hours later though, he must have had a change of heart. Anthony started shooting at police. They returned fire. And after a 6-hour standoff, surprisingly, he was arrested without any incident. While in cuffs, police entered the home to find out, unfortunately, Anthony's text messages were all true. They found their son and daughter gone from gunshot wounds. He was taken into custody, charged with 3 counts of first-degree hit and other charges as well. At his first court date, Anthony didn't show much emotion. He just sat and listened to the judge. Iris' family and the community were in shock. People that knew her and Anthony couldn't believe he snapped like that. But family members that knew what was going on behind the scenes and all about the divorce knew it was all about money. and him wanting her to support his dream of being famous. And when Anthony realized she was standing on her decision, he wanted to get revenge on her and his kids. As the case made its way to trial, it wasn't much his attorney could say, other than the fact Anthony struggled with mental health issues. But as the details of the incident were read out in the courtroom and the jury heard everything, it was nothing his lawyer could do. Anthony was found guilty on all charges, and he faces the ultimate punishment as he could be sentenced to death. He is scheduled to find out his fate next month, January 2026. Rest in peace to Iris, Nigel, and baby Honora. I send my prayers and condolences to their family and everybody affected by this situation. Any man that can sit, watch his kids sing songs with his son, knowing what he was about to do, is a different kind of evil. It's bad enough he took their mother's life, but the kids had nothing to do with it. Crazy enough, in stories like this, when someone doesn't leave the kids, it's because their logic is, I'd rather them gone too instead of in foster care. Anthony could have had it all if he put the grind behind the image, rub shoulders with the right people, make a business plan, but he was stuck on the fame and the image, not the money and taking care of his family. Then you get mad at your wife that she didn't want to spend her money chasing a dream that wasn't guaranteed when y'all had a baby and a son to take care of, and you plotted revenge, took the sucker way out and did that to your kids, but couldn't do it to yourself. That says a lot about his character. Anthony snapped over an image, but I guess for some, that's the price of fame. But I'm gonna leave this one open for discussion. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on the situation in the comments. And remember, we gotta succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Yeah, man, this is a super messed up story. Rest in peace to Iris, Nigel, and also baby girl Honora. I definitely send my prayers to their family. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. Y'all leave it in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Be sure to tap that like button if you're feeling the content. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. This is another episode of Hood Tales. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.